after the court hearing, Richard Jakpa had a few words to say about a letter that was pulled out by the Attorney General during cross-examination, which he says he has never seen before. But that was the subject of the cross-examination today. Take a look.
And mischief, that is the Attorney General and the government have created, and using their surrogate media houses to be peddling falsehoods, twisting proceedings of the court, and then bringing out evidence that I have no idea about and trying to put it on me. I want to address that. The Attorney General brought a document, a pile of documents to the court about my military career. I left the military about 17 years ago. Now he brought a document purporting that I have committed certain crimes according to the letter. In fact, that letter I was not copied. I have no knowledge of that letter. And that letter are allegations that are unsubstantiated, unfounded, and I was never confronted with it by the military 17 years ago. And that letter is purported to have been written by one Brigadier General Ahiaglo. In fact, I know Brigadier General Ahiaglo. He's dead. He's deceased years ago. And he wrote that letter on behalf of the Chief of Army Staff, who was by then Major General Odote. So Brigadier General Ahiaglo was a staff officer to the Chief of Army Staff. So he wrote on behalf of the Chief of Army Staff. So this unfounded allegation that I was never confronted with, I was never made known of, a secret report document that they wrote to the Chief of Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, who reports to the Chief of Defense Staff, the CDS. I have no knowledge about it. In fact, today is the first day I saw that letter, dated, I think, 22nd or so of 2007, about 17 years ago. Now, in that letter that I have no idea about, they claim I consistently engage in fraudulent conduct. And when you use the word consistent, it means I didn't engage in fraudulent conduct once, several. Yet the military that I know will not countenance such a behavior once, even for it to become consistent, without charging you, trying you, whether by your commanding officer or appropriate superior authority or by a court martial. I've never even gone on an interview on it. I have no knowledge of all those, that such a letter had been written by 7 military officers in order to get me out of the military without my knowledge. I was never made known about that. But unfortunately,
why didn't you make it clear to the court when you were confronted with the document?
I was never given the opportunity. In fact, the Attorney General was so mischievous that he presented the document, asked me to read it per the court rules. I read it, and then after reading it, he jumped into a different area so that I wouldn't have the opportunity to dissect that letter and expose the mischief and the unfounded allegation and the secret diabolical letter that was written in order to paint me black when I was in the armed forces during the MPP's time when they were in power in 2007.
So that's Richard Jakpa there. That's after the court hearing today. And let me just put it on record that this letter that he talks about, which the Attorney General pulled, that he described as a surprise because he had not seen that letter or any report of misconduct against him in the military while he was serving, as a surprise because he hadn't seen it. It's never happened. This was admitted into evidence, as a matter of fact, today by the trial judge. But we have a copy of that letter, okay, here on Ghana Tonight. Take a look at this. This is the letter in contention now. This is what was pulled out in court today. by the Attorney General during cross-examination of Richard Jakpa. You see the date there, 12 September 2007. And the reference number is there. Release from service for unsatisfactory conduct. Lieutenant Richard Jakpa, GH 2899. Richard Jakpa says this was the first time, today was the first time he had seen this or heard about any report on him. But let's give you a brief detail of what this letter says. 1. The above named officer was commissioned into the Army, that's the Armor Corps, as a regular officer on the 21st of August 1998. All things being equal, the officer should have made the rank of captain on the 21st of August 2002 and a major on the 24th August 2007. He has consistently failed his PROMEX, that's the promotion examination, and now lags behind his mates in rank. Also, his service, and this they are talking about Richard Jakpa's service with the colors, has been largely unsatisfactory, marked by consistent fraudulent conduct, abrasiveness, and general indiscipline. That's what Richard Jakpa is talking about. If that was consistent fraudulent conduct, then he shouldn't have been in the service for that long. That's his reaction to this portion. In addition, point 2, Richard Jakpa has incessantly been indebted to various people, institutions during the period. An example was his long indebtedness to the Recce Regiment, PRI, to the tune of $300 at the time, which he was unable to pay till authority was sought for the amount to be deducted from his salary. All of this is part of a number of issues captured in this letter. That was the basis for the cross-examination today by the Attorney General, Godfrey Diabodami. You see point 4 says, from the foregoing, the continued retention of Richard Jakpa is not in the best interest of the Ghana Armed Forces and indeed himself. It has accordingly been decided that Lieutenant Richard Jakpa be released from the service forthwith. And let's see the signature. Go up a bit, right? Who signed this? Respectfully submitted. And the Brigadier General Ahiaglo that you hear Richard Jakpa mentioning is the signatory to this. And he is deceased. Brigadier General Ahiaglo, who is the signatory to this letter, is deceased, and that's why he talks about dead men not talking. But the most important thing in all of this is that with everything that's on it, it's been admitted into evidence. And I want to find out from